Hello guys, welcome back to the Smart Learning channel. Where in the previous class we have completed the first chapter teaching part. It means I have taught you, I have given clarity on each and every topic of the chemical reactions and equations chapter, right? Today in this session, as I told you in the previous class session, is corrosion and acidity part in part 7, that I will come up with some of the experiments or the activity which is mentioned in your NCERT textbook that I am going to discuss today, a important one. And in upcoming parts, we are going to discuss some few questions of chemical reactions and equations. And I can tell you that welcome to the part 8 of chemical reactions and equations chapter. Okay, when you think about science, there must be some experiments, there must be some activities going on, there must be some realistic conversation between anybody who talk about science, right? So for the realistic activities, with the important activities, I have come up with this video part 8. So let us start, don't waste the time, let us start with the activities. Okay, chemical reactions and equation, please keep open your NCERT textbook where every activity is important in this part of the textbook. So there are some nearly 13 activities in this chapter. Yeah, 11 activities. In that, I'm not going to discuss all the 11 activities to you people. So because these are not important, CBSE students who are watching this video, most important video to you people, because the questions of MCQs, the questions of 2 marks, 3 marks may ask like activity part, what I'm going to discuss now, right? Okay, let us come with the first activity, that is simple, that is combination reaction. As I told you earlier, just to heat the magnesium ribbon or a foil with what you taken, and hydrogen gas is not so important. And next comes our balancing chemical equation. As you know that, as I told you people, to balance every reaction whatever present on a board, so that you become familiar to that. uh, Next we have activity 4, that is combination reaction, right? As I told you that also, right? When the copper oxide, put it in a water, right? Water, copper oxide, when we put it in a water, right? It is a beaker. When it is full of water, when we put calcium oxide, obviously the products will come with an heating effect, right? Calcium hydroxide plus heat which is liberated out, which is again exothermic reaction. Calcium oxide plus water gives rise to calcium hydroxide, where heat is liberated out. The activity number 4. Next, let's go for activity 5, which is most important one, decomposition reaction. Simple guys. What we see, the decomposition reaction example, right? Nothing but FeSO4, right? See, let's discuss that. Decomposition reaction is one of the important reaction in this video, because both the activities like activity 1.5 and 1.6 both are from decomposition reaction only. And for board examination point of view also, it is most important to you people to overcome the topics. Okay, right? What is the activity? Let's discuss. Let me write the activity. Activity 1.5. Activity 1.5. Take about 2 grams of ferrous sulfate crystals in a dry boiling tube. See, boiling tube is nothing but any tube which is made up of glass. In a laboratory, we call a small test tube. Test tube. right? You can use this for the boiling tube also. Okay, depending upon the experiment, the name of the experiment changes. Clear? Right. Note the color of the ferrous sulfate crystals. They are telling now, uh, into this particular test tube, put some ferrous sulfate crystals with them. Ferrous sulfate crystals. See, I'm going to take some ferrous sulfate crystals. Ferrous sulfate, the formula is, the formula FeSO4, right? This is the ferrous sulfate crystals. This I'm going to put in this test tube to heat it, to form, to give decomposition reaction, right? You can see there is a girl using this tube and holding that tube to the fire, right? The next I'm going to read, next point I'm going to read now. Heat the boiling tube over the flame of a burner or the spirit lamp as shown in the figure 1.4. As I told that beside a figure you're going to see in a test tube, right? A student, a girl is taken this test tube and heating that with the Bunsen burner, or we can get spirit lamp. The down, which is like cylindrical shaped, right? Something here, the knob is present. From here, the fire is coming out, right? This particular is attached to a cylinder. It is a cylinder. Clear? Right. The fire is coming out. The girl is heating that particular test tube where ferrous sulfate crystals are present there. Ferrous sulfate crystals. These are all ferrous sulfate crystals. Now what happens? Now what happens? Now these ferrous sulfate crystals, what happens? See, next. Heat the, now she is going to heat that. Observe the color of the crystals after heating. When the crystals, ferrous sulfate crystals, when we did still we did not heat a separate part of the ferrous sulfate crystals, what type of ferrous sulfate crystals are present? Now what the color becomes? See, what they're telling is ferrous sulfate crystals, when we heat those, the formula as I told you, 7H2O, which is in light green, which is somewhat light green color, ferrous sulfate crystals. When we heat it, okay, when we heat these ferrous sulfate crystals, it becomes FeSO4, which is white. Now the water molecules are removed, right? And plus this, some of the harmful gases are released, right? You can see that colored, which is formed out. Water is removed. When we heat excessively, again I'm going to heat more and more and more, then it becomes ferrous sulfate becomes ferric oxide. Ferric oxide, it means Fe2O3 plus some harmful gases, or the test tube is turning the yellow color, light yellow color, light yellow color to the sides of the test tube, which is called SO2 plus SO3. Sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide gases are also liberated out. So we can tell that it is the decomposition reaction. Which type of decomposition reaction? Thermal decomposition reaction, because single reactant, two or more product, right? Okay. And we can see that the word they use it is heat. Then which type? Thermal decomposition. It is the decomposition. Which type of decomposition? Thermal decomposition. Clear? That they have asked to you people, what the color changes. Have you noticed the green color of the ferrous sulfate crystals have changed? Yes, it's changed into ferric oxide, which is in white color. You can also smell the characteristic odor of burning sulfur. Yes, as I told you, light yellow color of the sides of the test tube, which is called SO2, SO3, which is ferrous oxide and ferrous trioxide. They're telling that is called a bad smelling, which is called pungent smell. Okay, pungent smell. These two gases are pungent smelling. They're telling. Clear? Right. This is all about activity 1.5. Example for thermal decomposition. What is thermal decomposition? Decomposition reaction that takes place in the presence of heat. Right? Okay.